Okay, God created every single individual with some already instilled sense. That is what actually is termed as conscience. That is conscience. With science, every single individual on the planet is given some form of knowledge. Okay, already installed knowledge. This was given you by God. Okay, in a normal way of living, we know for sure that even without the Bible, we do not see men and men marrying. Okay, men and men are not compatible. Okay, they are not to marry. Women and women are not compatible. They are not to marry.
Sam George, what have you done to us?
Mr. Speaker, my submission would anchor on 4 legs: traditional, scientific, legal, and religious. Mr. Speaker, Ghana is a culturally rich nation. We have 70 ethnic groups and 80 languages. We have 242 traditional areas that are recognized by the National House of Chiefs. Mr. Speaker, we throw an open challenge to proponents outside of this house, since there's no proponent in this house, of LGBTQ.
Beloved, once again I greet you and I welcome you to the platform with the appellation Lordson Media. And one thing you need to know for sure has to do with the fact that whenever I get in my seat, it's about we are disproving stuffs. We disproving false ideologies, false idiosyncrasies, false teachings outside there, infidel objections outside there against Christianity. And one thing that bothers me a lot has to do with with this question people ask. Okay, it doesn't really bother me, but I also ponder about the same question. How come foreign countries, or how come the other countries around Ghana or around Africa sleeps, reasons, and also thinks about how we live our life? Okay, most especially, why are the foreign countries, foreign nations worrying about how we engage ourselves in relationships with others, how we marry, to be more precise? Okay, why do I have to be forced to be drenched into some marital status which is never my tradition, which doesn't correspond to my custom, which doesn't correspond to my culture? Okay, Ghana has her own culture. Africa has our own culture. We have our own cultural way of living, our customized way of living. We have our traditional way of living. Okay, seriously, the Bible tells us for sure that a man's way is on a woman. A man needs to leave their family, okay, and go there to live with their wives, and the two becomes one. Okay, this is exactly what we know, and that has been our tradition since time immemorial. Okay, God created every single individual with some already instilled sense. That is what actually is termed as conscience. That is conscience. With science, every single individual on the planet is given some form of knowledge. Okay, already installed knowledge. This was given you by God. Okay, in a normal way of living, we know for sure that even without the Bible, we do not see men and men marrying. Okay, men and men are not compatible. Okay, they are not to marry. Women and women are not compatible. They are not to marry. That isn't how the Creator made it. Okay, people wants to turn away or to round about the natural order of things. Gambela said, the cord of common sense has been dragged into an unknown wilderness. Shall we take a quick break and return? therefore me say ewiase no ho no onipa bia no a obegina ama no kore no nyankopon so ne bambo edi wachi twade onipa bia no a obegina ama no kore no onyankopon etaa wachi ema utimi kɔ wanim. Okay, obi anaka na asem se wotwa nkontompo ema osafo ayira abonten na woda. Oda se wotwa nkontompo ema osafo ayira abonten na woda. Okay, onipa bia ode no kore ayi adwuma ewo wiase mu no nyankopon bambo edi na chi. Sawa wagene se no kore da ho na so de ato na bedi dwuma no me na di wachi because obi biara esu a egu so. Obi biara esu edegu so. Oba jene se bia ni manim ya no de e bia ebenya mmoa bi e de firi o man we ho e de manim ya de e benya sa asomje we de firi o man we ho me kwa metra kunya no so akoduru emfie sai anase emeredo sai. Okay, enchiri ma se wa anwere wo ho se wa anwere wo nda ache ho wa anwere o man da ache ho na se wo jene wa nkasa nkwa nkanko ho na se wo nkwa nkanko nti se wo bo ebinum nsira atogu a wo nkwa nkanko nti se wo wo ebinum ase a onkwa nkonti se wutu wusu wo se wo be bre ebinum ase a onko enkoduru ba bia onche. Okay, sadie nantwie ne dua enka ne to no sa na konfo nso a ono nokura ode ye eye nananam no ono nso enka ne nche bet enini nsem ena ahene bia ti asem ni ye ma me che wade enche bia ana o my God na mu ha se no yet nya ne nte ye se we are being present, and even a vice president traveled all the way from the west to Ghana just to influence our leaders. Okay, say one engine tum say berema enfa berema to oba enfa oba to oba na oba eni ahyiamu. Okay, engine tum say onipa tumi ni aboa edi ahyiamu. Ona fese zufeya no ya nyintum se eye berema epese odane woba otim bedane oba epese odane berema otim bedane radio. Now I watched this video. Now this guy I think I don't know his name. Now well my facts okay and some are all kano emoduru. Now obisa se adenti kura ene ka se ye ne Africa fo ye we mem ha se no ye bibire mu ha se no akwase broni etumi edwene said the yen kase ekwana epese efaso eware no one ebezusu ede amaye adenti na one nhese ye no one pese yen negitum eni krapo it isn't their culture. Okay, it isn't their culture say berema oba na oba debi e bibi na afio na we introduce Sam George ekaye el Parliamentary House. I salute this man, the MP for Ningo Pram. I salute you my chairman rough. Okay, enya politics inti na emu no kura wo kanti ene say opese Bible no enye superior na ebio yemfa nyansa ani adwene entina o mayi mu no enti no metwema pa wa ya de Nyankopon hira o ya se ni pa twade what say identity in America. Why should America be bothered about how Ghanaians live our life, how we marry? Identity and I say what to me on dagene Mose sabi a merman for one to Oba no Oba and what any idea. Fine, do it there. But Africa for yes, yet. Why do you have to force us? Why do you have to put us under ransom? Identity na mo pese mo de bi tetere yen. Na nsem wo and China CNN. Adena mofa say Ghana Christian Council. Okay? Omo aje LGBTQIA+ netum. Okay, because omo no raise fans from LGBTQIA trust seats. Omo donor agents no ona for animal we say so. Therefore we dare to man low profile and so still we preach against that. Is it true or it isn't true? I don't know. Nyankopon kwa nanim. Say no kura na say nya no kure. Okay? Ni nyina na say wo pese Africa say yanyi ntum. Dabi twade o. Eti abranti abekwa akotie no o kire say ekoba say berema o say ane mamadane mabaya oba mabaya berema. Twade the thing is wo hormones any ade no what say kan beka. Eti no be change wo hormone from oba de akoberema de. obechange hormone no from berema de akoba de obey surgery. Now there's going to be a time obepesen ka betumi retrieve benya said now sitie na ankasa back, you will not get it back. And with that matter, what is going to happen? They tend to say it is going to cause the cessation of the African generations. Okay, say you to say berema ni adia. Okay, berema no oba warrior no eba be less. Okay, eba be less because onipa no enya wo abofra na omusan ketekete no asa say kire wo mo. There's going to be gay clubs, lesbian clubs in Ghana and in Africa, whole places of whole corners in Africa. And for that matter, just obiti jani I expressing displeasure. I was idea no one. Punishment to be meted out if you can wash your lands or certificate of Jeffrey Winsam. Okay, or certificate of Jeffrey Winsam. And someone opening all can a muda hope nyansa a woman I didn't say there be a woman
the biggest reasons for LGBTQ. That's one of the biggest reasons for LGBTQ. And I'm not against no homosexual or no lesbian. I love all African people, but I reserve the right to disagree with any lifestyle that threatens the survival of the traditional African family. LGBTQ is the new birth control pill. Why do I say that? 2 men cannot reproduce. 2 women cannot reproduce. And now they're even transgenderizing our children. Do you know what that means? They're manipulating and indoctrinating African children to undergo sexual surgery so they'll never be able to reproduce again. When Dwayne Wade, whose son is now legally had his birth certificate changed, he's legally a girl.
Yeah.
Hormone therapy. When he gets 30 years old and looks in the mirror and says, you know what? I don't like living like this no more. I want to go back to being what God made me, a man. I want to get a wife and I want to have children. We only got one problem, don't we? Your reproductive is gone. We got another problem. Your testosteronic levels are gone. Your ability to produce healthy seed is gone. There is no going back. We are not looking at this LGBTQ thing the way we should be looking at it. It is birth control and racial extermination. Why you think Kamala Harris is traveling throughout Africa, trying to convince African countries to legalize gay marriage? Why does America care how Africa chooses to run its society? What do you care about marriage in Africa? Because if we can invade African culture to the point where we can manipulate African children into same-sex relationships or outright transgenderism, which is the extermination of your bloodline, we can start predicting the reduction of the African population. They'll never be able to get rid of all African people, but they can damn sure make a dent in our numbers. But more than that, they can disrupt the natural, traditional, healthy, cultural way that we live our lives, build our families, and run our societies. LGBTQ is one of the greatest weapons of white supremacy against the survival of African people.
The MP of Ningo Pram Ghana, Mr. Sam George. Also, the General Parliamentary House, what I say, Speaker of Parliament, Obana Basso, say, one also eka one what Jinam said, Debbie, this bill needs to be passed. The anti-LGBTQIA plus bill, no, it has what me a passing on. Abemubobia maye. The apostle ever Uganda and na se for na de nyina no wa mena mu na bam. Said America for a sanction to a year speakers of parliament to be as no. All because say one anyantum say obema LGBTQIA plus na de be akoso e wo memu. Ana Sam George say kobasa America for wona je so be put it to ransom one. The de be won say one interest our war efa any products. Ye nioma ye wo ewo ye memu ha say no. Because without us, we market krampo enkoso, they need us to survive. Okay? We hiya ya na batumi atena se. It's a kobasa no yen so ye be stand against that. Ye ma won kwan e ma won enso e mefa ye nioma empa nko. Because obaye na mu say na be institute aye won businesses or be establish won institutions. Now wa pesika de free ma mu ha de ko nkurom. Ye so be si ho kwan saa. Wow! We say asema okan ye no hono. Eduru ewe wiase ma nyina. Okay? BBC Frano, now Frano, now Frano. The man is bold. We need such men for the country. Okay? We need such men for the country. Nyakupon Shirao, Mr. Sam George. Nyakupon Shirao pay ye. Ye konkotie Mr. Sam George, once again,
Mr. Speaker, my submission would anchor on 4 legs: traditional, scientific, legal, and religious. Mr. Speaker, Ghana is a culturally rich nation. We have 70 ethnic groups and 80 languages. We have 242 traditional areas that are recognized by the National House of Chiefs. Mr. Speaker, we throw an open challenge to proponents outside of this house, since there's no proponent in this house, of LGBTQ rights, to show us one Ghanaian traditional language or one Ghanaian traditional area that accepts and supports homosexuality. Language is an identifier of an ethnic group. And when you take all the 70 Ghanaian languages, over 70 Ghanaian languages, each one of them has words for things that are natural to the people. Things that are alien, they don't have words for them, they have descriptions for them. So when people say that the white man brought us Christianity, for example, it's incorrect, because when you take our local languages, we have names for the supreme being.
And this man, I don't really know his name. He is a white man, okay? And I think he endorses what actually Mr. Sam George said, okay? And he's there for the positive stuff, okay? He also he's also is anti-LGBTQIA+. I hope you get it with me. He's also anti that. He's also against that. So he felt he felt great amazed, okay? He felt the amusement when he heard of what actually Mr. Sam George said in the Parliamentary House of Ghana, and he reacted upon it. But this time round, there is a breaking news. Okay, there is a breaking news that was 3 days today, and 28th. Okay, 26th day of July 2023. Yeah. 26th day, that is 3 days ago. Okay, Anna, Kentucky in America, one pass anti-LGBTQIA+ bill. Wow. Openness, what can say? Hey, Sam George, again now they America. Then you so you go share this video. Once Sam George, Casano say, America. And I said the West, when I realize the error of the attachment, and for that matter, they are walking back their steps. Okay, when I will say it is erroneous, that is the exact reason here. There has been the rise of some there has been the rise of some parades by LGBTQ4, and so now the U.S. Secretary General, okay, even like was stopping one. Okay, say the American Pentagon, okay? Debbie, or stop pay one. There's 70 pa. What's the one quite say? Oh my one, so. So if say be Americans, be a year, or be China Swan, I didn't put to sanction. U.S. Secretary General, so. Okay, Sam George, Ekasa with facts. Okay, he speaks with facts. And a bill he said it is attributed to Robert Mugabe. Say, okay, say opa yemfa berema ne berema wona de emu dem niema won 12 months na yentra say ebia berema mum produce mum my offspring entumi ensi won entumi nya saa Robert Mugabe kan as o say ebasa say 1 year no ba na say muntumi enyemo ya muntumi ngo ya mono na mefa bi anom ana mefa bi ahwia say na asem ne tie enti asem opani kan say Sam George of Ghana, what have you done to us? Okay, people are learning sense. Okay, people are learning sense, and it's our prayer that everybody around this world, anybody that is any country that is in support of this LGBTQIA+ stuff, okay, I bet to me I come into realization say there be a idea a bo of mine, a idea a say of mine, na to me Emma of mine enkoso. Now Mr. Sam George, several many facts. Okay, talking about the health of the civilians and all that. All these are the burden of the parliament. All these are the burden of the government and all that. Okay, and he told us of some descriptions and some actual stuffs and all that. He quoted this portion. MSCA. This man speaks with facts.
Until 1974, it was only 1974 that the American Psychiatric Association delisted homosexuality as a mental illness. In fact, anybody who studied any of the mental science manuals, which is the DSM, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, before 1974, homosexuality was listed as a mental illness along with necrophilia, zoophilia, and pedophilia. The decision in 1974 to delist it as a mental illness was not based on science. It was based on an opinion poll of only 6,000 people. So clearly, homosexuality is a form of madness and mental illness. And what they need is psychological care. Mr. Speaker, the Human Genome Project, and that's on science. The Human Genome Project is a $3 billion funded project by the government of the United States of America, which is the biggest investigation into the human genome. This project spanned 20 universities in the United States, the United Kingdom, Japan, and South Korea. And what they tried to do was to map out the human DNA to identify the genome. Mr. Speaker, they were able to identify the genetic marker that makes somebody like me. I only smell the food and I grow big. And there are some other people, they can eat 10 balls of kenke, they won't grow big. Like Sosu. All of this is genetic. What makes you have a bald head like Okujetua Blakwa or have an afro like Sam George? All of these are genetic markers. Mr. Speaker, the Human Genome Project was able to identify the genetic marker that makes men have feelings, emotional attractions to women. It was able to identify the genetic marker that makes women attracted to men. It could not find any genetic marker that makes men attracted to men or women attracted to women. It makes me understand why Honorable Eslawusu did not have affections for Honorable Abina.
Tinton time, LGBTQIA+, and your culture. Okay, it hasn't been our tradition. It hasn't been our custom. America crap and yana culture, and yana custom, and yana tradition. More money can euremono. Tienye, mother so a nipa esremo. More money can euremono. Okay, in him say, so when you will be more and pempino, yana nijaya no adding, now so to me. Okay, why are addicted? Na so ka so be jaya abade be ubetumi ajaye enya de se be boa wo de hwade opanyini bere makwabrane a bribia wadu butuo na wo sebi oto e na wafa da bia wo pampesi na ye ode da bia wo pampesi na ye ode me kai school bia me pese me bodi. Okay, na brantie bi na abebia no so nam school mu a on okwa abo se ndika 12 na ne to so ne nsuo se pampese bo nya asam wantimi anwe school e na oka nchene guye e ko branane e de ne to e na aye loro kwan e wo no ofa wa bra onyankopon a obo na ade no bo nipa no ni nyansam no se berema wo de ene wo ba oba wo de ene berema. Okay, enye berema ene berema eni asiemu we eyatuate oba na oba eni asiemu we eyatuate etwe de kan wura mu a mesrew e de arebone bebre ena ebremo. Okay, and I'm so several many health conditions. Bebre no anso wanche no afrasa ase so no okọ. Sanete mo bi emphysical na adao. Na sabi omo to enwum. E mo bi emphysical na adao say ene ma aboa ma ponche. E ma me kra man midwan eni ahyiamu. What is going on in the world? Say wani monyam. Where lies the dignity in this? Mo friend say equal right. Mebwa freedom and justice. And for that matter, say I'm obi kwan say opesa or ne oberema and answer oba no oba ne ade a yetete o fa hu this me patcho there be. Freedom does not mean foolishness. Okay, intellectualism is not insanity. I'm quoting Gambela. Sana sanity freedom no enchire sebi imperials and kwasi asem. Okay, nyansa no enchire sebi edambo. Ini pe nyansa broso amazesi sebi edam. Where lies the sense in this? Where lies the dignity? Where lies the equal right? How do you understand it? Freedom and justice, what I say saying? equal right, and answer the right of the citizens. And what I say, aban am our right, okay, the right to do everything you want to do. But you be with me, I didn't know so all right. Meboa, you have the right. You have a natural right, okay. Your fundamental human right, okay, fundamental human right, no. Say the right say utumi kasa utumi nante ko baby apaso ko bia je beso bia apaso ya but me aye but it's also constitutional right. Don't forget that one, okay. Your constitutional right and your fundamental human right. Constitutional right and a present limitation on the right are fundamentally no, okay. Constitution no actually say ane and can right say ufase kan now say the ko obi mabowe my yen say but constitutional right no actually say so BBC ayancho o present some limitations on the fundamental human right away there be o no sana asem no etie na if you cramp no a constitutional right no say ko ba say bi aban no cramp e ma right bi say e biribi na sa ade na wo yen say kwatie nyankopon no nso na nya de papa etimi fa kwankwa jiem sana asem tie eti yesremo muma yenkoso said Mr. Sam George okaye no wase amra no e kire se aye oman no efa ahodie oman no bambo oman no emudie oman no nkankro oman no apomuden ehye aye aban no enseche se aban no de be se we mu nyina be koso eti apomuden bia eni berema ene berema order mu friend say homosexual na Sam George kire mu se kan twi se de be kodwo besia adwa beni ene ade berema wire no say de be oba wire no say berema we no it is not nyankopon shira mesere fata go bi biara de be emame so bi eye gay a unu a onye tamfo onye aboa oye nipa so bi lesbian na hu na oye nipa okay yen twetwe won emra ye ho na yen koso ne ne won nkasa won ebejai obefri de wo yin because ade a say nipadua enchaka se nkoma eye mam Esther Anim and that is Samuel Asamoah of Toronto Church of Christ Canada, Uncle Sam Ghana House, Toronto, Canada, Ghana House, Ebio, Mr. Daniel Dan Kwasen of Palermo, Church of Christ, Italy, and Mr. Pasti Williams, Nyankopon Onshirao, Toronto, what is it? Palermo, Church of Christ, Italy, Nyankopon Onshirao Peye, Mr. Joseph Nimakon Jr., Hensign Lake Church of Christ, whenever you Nyankopon Onshirao Peye, some koso, na say program no at the MIN. Mr. Joseph Nimakon, Senior, and Brother Georgia J, and Dominic Camponsa, Derek Danso, Munina Nyankopon Onshirao, a grace, Wade Boache, Nyankopon Onshirao Penina, and Chakasi, and Common Pay, some Munina Mokoso, and program, you know, share, and so at the MIN. And now for Sue Benson, and now fair Munina comment session, or Mokoso, Namon comment, my Muse program, you must say, a man and question my Nyankopon Onshirao, you be